You know, folks, the whole world is talking about Bitcoin. Want to know why? Maybe it's because Bitcoin rose in value over 150% last year, and this is just the beginning. Bitcoin is online investing that anyone can do. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org today. Take a master class. Download the Book of Bitcoin and take your investment portfolio to the next level. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org and discover all that a Bitcoin can do for you. That's bitcoinuniversity.org, bitcoinuniversity.org.
Ok, legal, tá bom, normal.
Não ter potência para fazer uma ultrapassagem segura não é legal. Mude para um Haval H6, o híbrido que conquistou o Brasil. E tem até 393 cavalos de potência e 77,7 quilos de torque. Haval H6, a linha SUV eletrificada mais completa do país. GWM, Hello Tomorrow. Paz no trânsito começa por você.
Now, back to the Larry Kudlow Show.
Folks, nearly 1.3 million New Yorkers are struggling to feed themselves and their families. So please consider partnering with the WABC Foundation and AARP of New York and the Catholic Charities and St. Francis Feeding the Hungry. There are so many hungry people. Please help those in need with your help we can. Last year, we fed over 10,000 families, and this year we're looking to do much more. So please go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey to feed the hungry this holiday season. All right. Now, it's interesting, isn't it? That just as soon as Mr. Trump gets his landslide victory, Tuesday, November 5th, remarkably, all these so-called used to be important legal cases against him, weaponization and lawfare, documents and hush money and January 6th and Georgia and Fannie Willis, and it looks like the special counsel Jack Smith's going to be on the unemployment line. I just don't know how it is that all of a sudden just a little bit of a landslide election ended all of this nonsense that everybody spends so much time talking about. Let's bring in Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst. His latest book is The Constitution of the United States and Other Patriotic Documents. Greg Smith, I just find it remarkable. All these airtight cases against Trump to throw him in jail for 750 years suddenly ended election night. How is this possible, Gregg Jarrett?
Yeah, I know you said it facetiously, airtight cases. These were the most convoluted, legally unsound, and shamefully punitive cases I've ever seen in my 40-plus years as a lawyer. So naturally, the lawfare campaign is collapsing under its own crooked weight, as it should. You know, Biden's Department of Justice and these Democrat prosecutors in two different states thought their indictments of Trump would ruin him. But instead, you know, Americans are smart, and they saw it for what it was, a corrupt attempt to influence and undermine the election. And it solidified the voters' revulsion and disgust at how Trump's opponents weaponized the law for political gain. And he skillfully flipped the tables on them. He, instead of being the villain, he became the victim. And he effectively made his case in the court of public opinion. And in the end, a majority of voters issued their verdict on Election Day that none of these cases should ever have been brought.
Yeah, you know, let's, and in fact, Judge Eileen Cannon down in South Florida really raised the issue of the legitimacy of the special prosecutor, whatever they're called, special counsel Jack Smith in the first place. The Supreme Court blew up almost all of it anyway by saying you can't prosecute a sitting president, at least in terms of his domestic duties, that he was immune. So these things are, you know, one shoe dropped after another, and then the biggest shoe, as you just said, the voters, who were really the jury, gave him a landslide victory a couple Tuesday nights ago. But it's astonishing to me. You had lawyers, Greg, not you, heaven's sakes, no, but you had lawyers telling us for 2 years practically just how important and how good these cases were and how bad Mr. Trump was. Where are they now? What happened to them? They're all gone. They just evaporated.
You know, we do have a hearing coming up in the Bragg case on a motion to dismiss, and it should be dismissed because sitting presidents cannot constitutionally be subject to any criminal process, either state or federal. And the Supreme Court long ago enunciated that principle, and the principle must also extend to a president-elect during the critical transition. Indeed, that's reinforced by the words of the Presidential Transition Act passed by Congress. And I'm quoting here, it prohibits any disruption in the transfer of executive power. So, in other words, Larry, a local prosecutor cannot interfere in the functions of the executive branch, even in the transition. Now, Judge Juan Marchand surely knows this. I don't tag him as terribly bright, but he must know that. Whether he or Alvin Bragg will do the right thing and dismiss the case is, in my judgment, doubtful because they have a record of doing the wrong thing for their own nefarious political reasons.
So what, they're going to actually sentence the president-elect?
They could, or they could try to hold any sentencing or the fulfillment of an imposed sentence for 4 years until 2029. However, that would never stand because New York, as many states do, have a time limit, and it's 12 months from the time of a jury's verdict to impose a sentence. So 2029 is well after that. They can't do that.
What about, you think Joe Biden's going to pardon his son?
Oh, I do. I've always believed that. And I know Karine Jean-Pierre has said, oh, no, he's not going to do that. Look, if I had a nickel for everything she said that was fundamentally wrong and deceptive, you know, I'd be a rich man on the beach somewhere. So, yeah, I think he will pardon his son. We'll wait and see.
I just wonder, yeah, he probably will. I think Trump would. I mean, Trump doesn't want this to go on. It's one of the things the left is always ascribing to Trump, you know, he's going to retaliate this, that. No, he's not. He didn't with Hillary Clinton many years ago. He won't again. I think just Trump wants to stop all this judicial nonsense. You know,
I think you're right. I think it would be a gesture well received by many as, you know, this sort of olive branch. Let's stop this lawfare business. And, you know, I'm going to commute. I wouldn't pardon, but I'd commute any sentence for Hunter Biden. And I think that would go a long way in disabusing this sort of sentiment that Democrats put out there that Trump now intends to seek vengeance and retribution against his enemies. You know, he has said twice now in sit-down interviews on Fox News that he has no intention of doing that the lawfare must stop.
He wants to unify. He said it. The lefties don't want to believe it, but I believe that he absolutely believes that. You know, he's got two Democrats in his cabinet, two former Democrats in his cabinet, Gregg Jarrett. You know, that's unusual. We haven't seen that in a long time. That's almost a bipartisan cabinet. Think about that. And he has appealed to Democrats throughout his campaign that he did so successfully. And I agree with you. It's not going to happen. What happens last one, just a few moments, Fannie Willis down in Georgia. I mean, that thing broke apart anyway.
Yeah. She self-destructed by her illicit affair with her lead prosecutor in the appellate court in Georgia is now deciding whether she, too, should be disqualified for her unethical behavior. If that happens, as it should, the case goes nowhere. It ends. You know, they cannot pursue it while Trump is president. That's bedrock constitutional law. The DA's office could also try to put it on hold until 2029 when Trump leaves, but the law frowns on prosecutions that are not timely. And so Fani Willis has only herself to blame.
Oh, I love that. Gregg Jarrett, the best of the best, Fox News legal analyst. Gregg's book, The Constitution of the United States and Other Patriotic Documents. Thank you, Gregg. Quick break, folks, and on the other side, we're going to do some stock market work. Stick around, please.
Eden Memorial Chapels understands Jewish funerals can take many forms. Some are Orthodox, while others are more conservative or of a Reformed nature. There's no one better. With services close to all New York and New Jersey cemeteries, Eden Memorial Chapels offer fair and balanced pricing and can provide easy transfer of you and your loved ones to Israel. While you're grieving, they're here to take care of all the details so that you deal with less bureaucracy and have more peace of mind. Go to EdenMemorial.com. That's EdenMemorial.com.